guys. Today we are going to be drawing really cute hipster pets. So on one side, on this side, I'll be drawing a cat for you to look at. On this side, I'll be drawing a dog for you to look at. Feel free to change things as we go to make things look more like your pet, or just to change it to make it a little bit different than mine. On each one, I'm going to be drawing hats and scarves and other things. So if I draw a hat on this side, on my cat side, but you want that same hat on your dog, feel free to mix and match. Just because I drew it on my cat doesn't mean you can't draw it on your dog. All right, so let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to start with the eye. So what I want to do is I want to find the center of my paper. Right about there. Then I want to bring my finger up just a little bit and over just a little bit. Okay, now you guys are of course going to start with a pencil, so if you make a mistake you can erase, but I want you guys to be able to see my lines on the video, so I'm going to start with a Sharpie. So I'm going to start with a circle. Then inside that circle, I'm going to make two smaller little circles because I like to add little highlights. Now I'm going to do the same thing on my dog side. I'm going to find the center, go up a little bit and over a little bit. Now, you're starting with the pencil, but when you get your black marker or Sharpie or crayons to go over your pencil lines, you can then color in your pupil and leave those small little dots, little highlights white. I'm going to go ahead and do that so you guys can see what it looks like. Okay, so now on my cat, I'm going to draw another circle that goes around. This is for that iris, that colorful part of the eye. I'm not going to do that on my dog just to make it a little different, but of course, remember, like I said, you can mix and match. So, to know where to put my other eye, I'm going to put about 3 fingers down on my paper. For you guys, since you guys might have a little bit smaller fingers, you can maybe do 4, but I'm going to do 3, and then I'm going to put a little tiny dot. Might be really hard for you guys to see, but I put a little tiny dot. It's so little. So I know where my eye should be. Now, on this one, I started with my pupil because this is going to be the outside of my eye, that little dot. That's how I know how far apart they should be. That's going to be this circle right here. So I'm going to start with that circle on this side, going over that little dot. And then I can fill it with that pupil circle in the center. So I'm going to do the same thing on this side, but since he doesn't have the little iris, I could maybe do 4 fingers for my little dog. I'm trying to make them the same size. Oops, I made that one a little bit bigger. So let's make this one A little bigger. There we go. So I'm gonna make two different shapes of glasses. This one, I'm gonna make a big circle shape that goes right around these. So I have kind of a lot of circles going on this side. But there's one. And I'm gonna make the same size circle going around this side, like that. So if you want, you can kind of watch my two different glasses and decide which one you'd like to do. So on this side, that's more of that circle shape. Then over here, I'm gonna do the letter U under the eye, on each eye. And I'm gonna close that off with a straight line on top. Now, on this side, I'm gonna make kind of like the letter C. It's only gonna go halfway. So I'm gonna make it come around and stop. Same thing on the other side. It's like a backwards C, around and stop. And I'm gonna connect it with two little curved lines. This one, I'm just gonna make another letter U. You can see now how these two different shapes are happening, and you can kind of decide as you're seeing me draw them which one you'd like. This one, I'm going to connect it with two little lines. Okay, so on this side, I'm going to make a line that comes straight out and a little bit past the edge of the circle. Straight out and past the edge of that circle. And then a little short line that comes down. This one, I need this line to come a little bit above, and I'm gonna make this line come out. And again, it came a little bit past this line right here. Okay, so now I'm gonna make this line on my cat side. I'm gonna make my cat side continue to come around that circle. And it's gonna act like it's continuing around that circle, and then connect. Oops, went a little bit too far, there we go. I'm gonna do that on the other side. Go around the circle, and then connect. Okay, and then this one, I'm gonna make just like a little L shape. So down, over to connect. Okay, now let's draw their little noses. For both of them, I'm gonna make about the same shape of nose. It's just gonna be kind of like this little straight line between their little glasses, and then connect it with a little curve U line. And then when you get your Sharpie or your black marker or your black crayon, I like to add a little highlight in the nose, like right at the top of the nose. And then I like to color in the bottom part of the nose and leave that little highlight white, just like we do with the eyeballs. Okay, so now I'm gonna make my little cat mouth. So for that, I'm gonna make a straight line coming down. And then I'm gonna make curved lines for that little mouth. So one coming out this way, one coming out this way. And I'm going kind of fast because I'm doing both. So you kind of have time to finish since you guys are only drawing one. So you kind of have time to work on yours while I'm demonstrating the other one. So under the little mouth, I'm going to draw a little U shape for a tongue with a little curved line in the middle. So for my dog, I want him to kind of look like he's like a little fuzzy puppy. So I'm going to start with that same little straight line. But then instead of making just a like flat, well not flat, but a curved line, I'm going to make this one be a little bit wiggly as it goes up. It might even be kind of hard to see. I made him kind of wiggly, that line, so it kind of looks like he's fluffy. But the line follows that same shape, right? He still looks like he's smiling. And then I'm gonna do that same little rainbow line and curved line for the little mouth. And for kind of like the top of his little nose, or like the part that sticks off their face for their nose, I'm gonna make a little jumping line right there between his glasses. And then for my kitty, I'm gonna make kind of a little curved line between the glasses and then kind of act like that curved line is coming out and around my little cat's mouth and back in. Okay, so kind of like a little oval shape. So now I'm gonna draw a bow tie on my little cat. So if you want a bow tie on your dog, you can do that as well. It's up to you. Oh, you know what? First, we need to add our little like chin to our dog. So again, I'm gonna make kind of a little scruffly little chin on my dog. There's his little scruffly chin. Now I'm gonna make my bow tie right here. I'm gonna find this little spot right under his little chin. And like I said, if you want to make a bow tie on your dog, you can. Just follow along with these steps. So I'm going to start with a little circle. Then kind of off the side, but a little bit higher up on the side, I'm going to make a straight diagonal line that comes out and up. And then down a little bit further on that circle, I'm going to make a straight diagonal line that comes down and out. And then I'm going to connect those lines with a little curved line. So now I'm just going to make the bow look a little more three-dimensional, like that, with just this little curved line, and then maybe like a little line there to kind of make it look like it's bending a little bit in the center. Okay, so I'm going to make my little dog look like he has a little scarf on. So off the side of his little like chin, little face, I'm going to come out and kind of make a slightly wavy line that comes down quite a bit, and then do the same thing on the other side. Doot, doot, doot. And then just connect those with a curved line. Now again, if you want your cat to have a scarf, mix and match, mix and match. And I kind of want him to look like this scarf has a little bit of texture, so I'm just going to make some lines that kind of follow along. Cute little scarf. Okay, so now we want to draw like the bottom little parts of the scarf. So I'm going to make a kind of wavy line come down, come over a little bit, make another wavy line, and then I'm going to show that texture by adding some little fringe at the bottom. And now I want to make another little end of my scarf, so I'm going to make another one over here. I'm just going to scooch over a little bit. This one's going to be a little bit shorter. And add some fringe. Beep. And if you want to, you can draw more of those little implied texture lines. Okay, so off the side, now we're gonna make like the rest of their face. So off the side of the glasses, I'm gonna make a little tiny line coming off just to kind of know where I start. I'm gonna do that on both my cat and my dog. Okay. Boop, boop, boop. And then I'm gonna make a line that kind of zigzags. So it kind of comes out and back in, out and back in, out and back in, just a few times. And then I will make it kind of curve down to that little bow tie. So let me do the same thing on the other side, out and back in, out and back in, out and back in, and then curve line to that little bow tie. And then on my dog, since he's kind of fluffy, I'm just gonna make that little zigzaggy line go all the way down to his scarf, since he's a little fluffier dog. Okay, they're looking super cute. Okay, so now let's work on the top of the cat's head. I'm gonna put a little top hat on my cat. So I need to start by adding the bottom of that hat, like the little brim of the hat. So I'm gonna start by making kind of a little curved line. And then on that curve, I'm gonna make those lines come in just a little bit. And while you guys are drawing that, on my little dog, since he's fluffy, I'm gonna give him little fluffy eyebrows. So I'm gonna start by making a straight line right above his little glasses on either side. And then I'm just gonna make a little zigzaggy line that comes up and back down. Okay, now for the rest of our cat's little top hat, I'm gonna make a straight line that comes up, and it kind of comes out a little bit, like a little bit of a diagonal, up and out. And then I'm just going to connect those two like that. And then I like to add a little skinny line in the middle of this hat like that. Now for my dog, he's gonna be wearing a little beanie, I mean, you guys know what a beanie is, like a little wintertime hat. So I'm gonna start by making kind of a little bit of a wavy line above his head. You can see it's not as wide as his like glasses. It's a little bit skinnier. And then I'm going to kind of come up just a little bit and follow that shape. And then just connect those lines with little curved lines. And then I'm gonna make a curved line that comes in a little bit, not all the way to the edge of that line I just drew, but a curved line that comes up and back down. And again, I'm gonna add more of those implied texture lines. Okay, now it's time to draw our little cat's ears. So I'm gonna start with a big triangle that kind of comes off the edge of my top hat and comes down to about the edge of my glasses. And the same on the other side. Now I need to make a curved line that goes from under my hat kind of towards the edge to the top of my glasses. This will kind of be like the top of his head, like that. And then I want to make that inside triangle inside of the ears, like in the middle of the ears. He's looking really cute. Okay, now we kind of need to make our little dog ears over here. So I'm going to start on this side, and I'm going to make a curved line that comes down, out and down to about there. And I'm going to make that zigzaggy line that kind of comes into the middle of his face, right here. And this side, maybe I'll make his ear standing up a little bit. So maybe I'll make that curved line come kind of up and out. And then make that little zigzag line come down to the side of his face, like that. Okay, so now we need to make the rest of their little bodies. So I'm going to make this curved line, come down, this is kind of for the rest of the body, so it's kind of coming off the bottom of the little face and down off the bottom of the paper. And for the dog, this one kind of is hidden by the scarf, so I don't really need to draw that side, but this side I do. Okay, but we need to make his little tail coming up. So I'm gonna make kind of a curved line that comes off the side of his little body and comes up like that. And then since he's a fluffy little dog, I'm gonna have it come down and be a little zigzaggy as it comes down. And then just to kind of show that he's excited and kind of wagging his tail, to show that he's excited and kind of wagging his tail, I'm going to draw a couple little lines around his tail that kind of makes it look like it's moving. And now we need to draw our little cat tail. So I'm going to draw a line that kind of comes up and waves a little bit. And then make it curve and come back down and kind of mimic that wave as it comes down, okay? See how like it kind of comes out and then back in and then out. Make sure you're kind of following that on the other side. And I'm gonna have my cat holding a little coffee cup. So right under his little bow tie, I'm gonna make two little lines. They're pretty short. And on the bottom, I'm gonna make a little curved line. On the top, I'm gonna make a little curved line. And I'm going to make a curved line that goes up like that. That's our little straw for our coffee cup. So now I'm gonna try to figure out where the edges of my little lid are. So I'm gonna make a little dot and a little dot. So I'm gonna make my lid come out like a little curved line that comes out and like that. And then it curves under to make kind of like a really skinny oval. Now to make the side of my lid, I'm gonna make 2 lines coming down and then just kind of mimic that little curved line. Now we need to make it look like his little hands are holding it. So I'm gonna make a little curved line that comes out on either side, down a little bit below that lid. And you can see they're coming out a little bit wider than my coffee cup, okay? And then I'm just gonna make like a little jumping line to make it look like his little paws. And then next, I need to make lines that come down from my coffee cup connecting to my little paws. And then lines that come down and connect under his little paws. Now I'm gonna draw a little picture on my cat's little coffee cup. You can draw whatever little picture you want. I thought it would be cute to draw a little cartoon cat, so I'm just gonna draw a little U shape, 2 little circles for eyes. Super cute. All right, so there are our little, oh, you know what? We need to draw a little kind of like the belly of our cat. So coming from the side of his little bow tie, I'm gonna make 2 kind of curved lines coming down. And then I'm gonna make them kind of zigzag as they connect to his little paws. And then it might kind of come down off the paper. Very cute. All right, that is the end of day 1. Tomorrow we will add color. Hi guys, it's time for day 2. I'm going to color my actual like dog and cat with my crayons, and then I'm going to do that watercolor trick with our markers in the background. So I'm going to make sure to color super neatly. I'm going to start with the dog, I think, and do my best to make him super, super cute. Now something I like to do is I like to get my crayons and I like to color lightly all over and then press kind of harder in some spaces where I want it to look like there's a little bit of shadow or a little more emphasis. So like I'm pressing lightly all over my dog, and then maybe on his little eyebrows, I'll make them a little darker. Okay, so there's my dog all colored in. Now let's do my cat. Okay, so now I've finished coloring with my crayons. Now I'm going to do that watercolor marker technique. All you need for this is water, a paintbrush, like normal washable markers, not a Sharpie. It has to be like regular kind of washable markers. If you don't have a paintbrush, you can use a Q-tip. A Q-tip also works. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna set my cat aside for now. I'm gonna take whatever color I wanna use and I'm going to outline my pet with a nice thick line with that marker. Now we've done this technique before. So I'm outlining my whole pet. Make sure it's a thick line. If you're making like a little skinny line like that, it will be a lot less ink, a lot less color to move around. So you want it to be really nice and thick. Okay, I'm gonna set that one aside while I do my cat real quick. Do this neatly, get right up to the edges. All right, so there are the two outlines. There are the two outlines. Now is where I grab, I'm gonna set one aside. Now is where I grab my little water bowl and my paintbrush. All you need is water. And then you go up to that little line and you kind of have to wake it up and then spread it out. Wake it up with that water and spread it out. And make sure you cover all of that white background so we don't leave any white spaces. And be careful you're not going inside. We don't want to go paint the inside of our animal. We want to just paint the background. So I'm waking it up and then spreading it out. Hope you guys can see that. It's looking really cool. I like this technique because it makes this kind of like glowing outline around your pet and still adds like this kind of light wash of color to the rest of your background. I really like it. So there, I've done it with the orange on my dog. Now I'll do it with the blue marker on my cat. It does help if it's kind of like a brighter color, like a darker color. So like blue and orange are really good. Yellow probably won't work as well because it's just so light. The darker the color, the easier it is to see those colors moving around. All right, so there is my finished cat. Here is my finished dog. I think they look so cute. I'm really excited to see how you make these look like your pet, or how you make these look really cute and individual to you. Remember, you can add all kinds of fun little details. I added coffee cup, bow tie, glasses, top hat, scarf, glasses, beanie. Get creative and make these look really, really cool, guys.